Monte Martinez, and I'm with His Storytellers here in San Antonio. This lengthy building to my right is a convent of a Spanish mission built in 1724. The mission was known as Mission San Antonio de Valero. It served its purpose in the 1700s, but by 1804, this Spanish mission will now be converted into what we know today as the Alamo. All of this land of Texas to California was all under Spanish conquest for many, many years. But this is all serving up until 1820. The following year, Mexico will claim its independence after the Revolutionary War, some 40 years after the Americans claimed theirs against the English. Now Mexico will inherit what we call Mexico today, but they will also inherit all of Texas, all the way to California and up to Oregon and Wyoming. There's another new country in the neighborhood. That would be the United States, of course. The United States is moving westward, and as they do, they want to buy this land from Mexico. Mexico, of course, is not selling this land, but they better do something or they're going to lose the land. This is what Mexico does. They go into the United States and they invite American citizens to come to Texas. When they do, they will become Mexican citizens and they will help grow Texas into a state of Mexico. In return, they will receive land for 12.5 cents an acre. And each family can own up to 4,000 acres. Now, all this is good and well. When these citizens move out here, 30,000 of them moving into Mexico. Mexico is known as Los Estados Unidos de México, the United States of Mexico. Now that means they have a constitution based on the U.S. Constitution, and this is another reason the Americans come westward into Mexico. All of this works well for about 10 years, but then Mexico will lose their democratic form of government to another government from within Mexico that will rise to power. They will elect a general as their president. This centralized government, known as the Centralist, where one city rules an entire nation, that means there is no longer representation of you, the people. This government will now place in its presidency the general of all of the armies of Mexico, one Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Now, as this government looks into place, they will now realize some problems. One of those problems is that they're dealing with another revolution against their power in place. That revolution, like the American Civil War, will be the northern states of Mexico against the southern states of Mexico. But when that Civil War ends, after 3 years, Mexico is now under the full, complete rule of the centralist government and Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Now they look north into their territory of Texas. Now remember, the old government invited the Americans to settle here as Mexican citizens. This all worked very well, but now this new government is not in favor of any such thing. For every one Mexican-born Texan, there are 10 former Americans, now Mexican citizens in Texas. This new government is against this, but really what they're having problems with is their border. every day Americans are crossing their borders from Louisiana into Mexico, which is Texas. This continues. The government is saying they cannot keep count or control of the number of Americans crossing their borders. This will come to a head with the passage of a law in April 1830 that makes it illegal for Americans to cross the Mexican borders into Texas, which is Mexico. This law will take place. They will begin to build fortresses along the border to try to keep the Americans out. The question is, does this work? The answer, of course, is no. When the land is valuable, the people will come. This law and 5 others will finally lead to negotiations over the next 5 years for Mexico to honor its constitution. They will not, and the Texas Revolution will begin in October 1835. This is one of the many stories of Texas during the Texas Revolution. I'm Monty Martinez with History Tellers. We are the storytellers of history.